So, yeah, I mean, we used to go to watch MTV to watch videos, and if you wanted to watch Headbangers Ball or stuff like that, or if you wanted to tame it down, you went to VH1.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And you watched Pop-Up Video. That was my favorite.
Good show.
That was awesome.
Behind the music.
Yes. It was great.
Well, Nick, you could head this, because apparently social media claims that you're the peanut butter to my jelly, so...
Oh, God.
You fix it, my friend.
I must be the Nutella.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I think Kevin's the bread.
I'm the bread.
Kevin's the bread.
I bring it together.
That is a good point. Good way to put it, Kev.
Yeah.
We're not going to cut the sandwich in half, though.
Nah, no. And why? That's just gruesome. That's like a horror movie. Yeah. So let's get into the TLC pay-per-view this past weekend, where WWE crowned a new Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion in Dean Ambrose. I have to say, personally, as much as I wanted Ambrose to win the title, I was actually shocked that he did win the title. I thought they were going to let Kevin Owens run a little longer. You know.
Yeah. I hope that they allow these two to keep feuding, Ambrose and Owens. That is. I think it's a great feud. I like both wrestlers a lot. As you know, I'm both an Owens and an Ambrose guy.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed the match. It wasn't the greatest match I've seen either of them wrestle, but it was a solid match. And it was kind of hard to beat the triple threat ladder match for the tag team titles. But I definitely enjoyed that match, and I was very, very shocked that we saw a new Intercontinental Champion grab.
And new champion without the use of a trombone.
Without the use of a trombone, you are correct.
I mean, I see it as just a marketing ploy by the WWE to put the belt on Ambrose, put the belt on Reigns, have them run with the gold for a little bit, build them up, beef them up. But I probably see them both holding it until WrestleMania. So something.
Is your house on fire, Nick?
I am at Brianna's house, and her house is not on fire. It's just a fire alarm.
Okay, so it's just making sure, because your beard is very flammable. We don't want you to go up.
My beard is flammable,
but
I am not on fire.
Natural supplements and ingredients in there to keep it soft and fluffy.
Yeah.
So we don't want them to go up in flames.
What I do like about the Intercontinental title picture now is Dolph Ziggler's heel change. Gave him a little sweet chin music at the end of SmackDown. And it's setting up for a triple threat match at Royal Rumble.
I don't know if that was necessarily a heel turn. I think it was just another way WWE has realized that the Intercontinental picture is going to have to involve a lot more faces than there are heels. And they're just going to put, it doesn't matter, they're going to put whoever against each other. They're going to have Ziggler versus Owens. There's Ziggler versus Ambrose versus Owens. And if Cesaro was in the picture, you would probably have Ziggler versus Cesaro versus Ambrose. At this point, the good guy, bad guy crap doesn't really matter in the mid card. It only really matters in the main event cards.
I just want good matches. Like obviously like you said, obviously for the WWE title, you're gonna have to have your heel and your face. That's just the way it has to be right now. But like you said, when it comes to the mid card, I think you just put on good matches. That's all I think the fans want. That's what I want. I want good matches. I want Ambrose, Ziggler, Owens. If Cesaro was there, I want Cesaro. I want those guys just to have good matches.
I agree with that, because it's they had their chance to push the mid card with all these injuries going into the pay-per-views, and Night of Champions, they really failed. I mean, they failed miserably,
as they usually do at Night of Champions.
It was just a terrible pay-per-view. They had a chance to push all these mid-carders, even bump up some of the NXT stars into the limelight, and they failed miserably with it. And now they did the TLC, some sick matches. I mean, you had the triple threat tag team match. Guys are suplexing each other through ladders. In the end, of course, Sheamus. In the end, New Day retains the titles with Xavier Woods throwing the trombone at was it Sin Cara?
No, it was Kalisto, I think.
Was it
Yeah, but Kev, can I also ask you a question? How do you get Sheamus and New Day confused?
Because I was kind of jumping.
It was the latter.
It was a jumping ahead to the whole physical part, because all those pictures that were posted on Facebook of how cut up and beat up Sheamus was that night.
Yeah.
You know, and how everybody likes to say wrestling's fake. And,
yeah. Right.
And my thing was, you know, which Hogan said during that meet and greet last year was, yeah, you want to say, oh yeah, it's scripted. You know who's going to win. You know, physically, you still got to go through the battle, but that gravity never takes a day off.
Mm-hmm.
No.
And you saw that. I mean, it's very evident with him because he's, you know, a jar of mayonnaise, but he was beat up. Yeah. I mean, he had pieces of skin missing, bruises, cuts, slashes.
His arm was cut within the first 5 minutes of the match.
Yeah, it looked like his skin got pinched in like the crease of the ladder.
Looked like he had chicken pox.
Yeah, it was pretty disgusting. So that's kind of why it was popping into my head that when you said that, you know, Ambrose won the belt and we jumped to Reigns. But let's jump to that main event. You had Roman Reigns taking on Sheamus in a TLC style match, and Roman Reigns once again gets screwed. You have Rusev and Alberto Del Rio come down, run interference, and cost Roman Reigns the match. Sheamus climbs the ladder, wins the belt, and then Roman Reigns goes absolutely ballistic.
And you know what? That's the way to do it. Because as all the names came out on Facebook, it was from Step Brothers, and it was like, did we just become Roman Reigns fans? And
yes,
the answer is, you know what? Yes.
Because it was a 180-degree turn that WWE
I loved every
forced on the WWE universe, and they didn't even know what happened.
Yeah.
It was
Nobody
just like,
knew what happened.
Boo! Yay! I was like, okay.
It was literally like a light switch flickered, and all of a sudden you're going from booing Reigns to cheering him. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, this is the way to do it. Like, he's beating up on the League of Nations. Next thing you know, he's beating the crap out of Triple H, and I'm like, this is brilliant.
And you have to give kudos to Triple H here. You know, he takes a lot of heat. A lot of heat.
Yep.
Which he probably takes a lot of unnecessary heat. I think he takes a lot of heat that should be directed at Vince McMahon, but Triple H kind of deflects it off himself.
Exactly.
Because he is the mastermind behind NXT. And if everybody's so in love with NXT, then how are you hating on Triple H?
Right.
Yeah.
But you gotta give him kudos, though, because he was taking some shots.
He was, and I will also, I do want to jump to Raw real quick while we're on this topic. Obviously, Vince McMahon showed up at Raw, too, and you know what? It had to be done. And Vince showed up, and the ratings soared.
Yep. Probably
the top they have been in the past, 3 months.
And you want to talk about a heel who gets cheered. There's the mastermind.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I thought that it was 100% perfectly executed from the pay-per-view on, and then after the pay-per-view of... You know, you have millions and millions of fans just pissed off at what they just seen. You know, you're expecting Reigns to get the title, and once again, it's the same old crap. And then you have it where Vince McMahon, like Nick the Beard said, shows up on Raw, and he basically gives America a free pay-per-view. A free 3-hour pay-per-view on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
And I will say the Raw was... it's the best Raw I've seen in months.
Yeah. In years.
It was definitely probably, if it wasn't the best, it was a top 3 this year.
Yeah, I don't remember the last time we seen a title change on Monday Night Raw.
I think it was, WWE? No, it's been a while.
I think it was Stone Cold Steve Austin beating The Undertaker 13 years ago, maybe.
No, I think there was, there was world title changes.
World title,
Raw,
okay.
And there was
the WWE Heavyweight Championship, I can't remember the last time I've seen that change on Raw, and that actually gives you a reason now to tune in to Monday Night Raw, because me personally, I couldn't even give a crap what was happening because there was nothing to draw me. And
I'm gonna say right now, sorry to cut you off, John, this past Raw was the first Raw I've watched from start to finish in probably 6 weeks.
Yeah, I didn't fall asleep through it. I'll be honest with you.
Exactly, Kev. I had fallen asleep through to Raw week after week after week until last week. And after the pay-per-view, I was like, you know what? I'm actually interested to see what happens. And I turned on Raw, watched it from 8 until just after 11 when it ended, and couldn't have been happier.
Yeah, because, I mean, Monday Night Raw, they gave you a main event that you wanted to see, that you wanted to wait up for.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see a tag team match of two people we just seen fighting last week, and it's a rotation of the same thing, and they'll fight a singles match, and then...
Or a contract signing.
A Divas contract signing to end Monday Night Raw.
Or they combine 3 feuds that are going on and make it a 3-on-3 match. It's like, nobody wants to see that. We want to see stuff that evolves, and that's where people have gotten behind Daniel Bryan, is because it just evolved. It was just a snowball where him getting screwed, and they sort of used that in the Reigns feud with the Authority, but they took it to a different angle with Reigns going crazy and beating the crap out of Triple H, which is, I thought, what they needed to do.
And for Roman Reigns to overcome all odds and not have any outside help, and for him to, him against the world, basically, taking out the League of Nations, kicking out of the Brogue.
This is where I feel WWE needs to be careful. Because they used this with the Daniel Bryan angle. And Daniel Bryan had to go through Triple H to win the title. Now you kind of use this angle very similar with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns, once again, had to go through Triple H to get to the title. WWE cannot rely on everybody going through Triple H to get to title, because it ruins his credibility as a promoter, as a creative mind, and then as a wrestler. You have to separate it. I understand that, he might become the next Undertaker where he only wrestles once a year. But at the same time, the title can't go through him every single time.
Right.
Yep.
So that's just my my look at it.
Here's a question for you guys. Obviously, I mean, we're looking at Reigns and Triple H going at it. When? Do you guys see it at Royal Rumble?
Oh, I got my own ideas on this one.
No.
Do you guys see it?
It's WrestleMania. I'm feeling WrestleMania because they're stalling, waiting for Rollins to come back healthy. They're going to put the belt back on Rollins, in my opinion, and I think either Rollins...
I think they should.
Rollins is probably going to come back and take it from Reigns. I don't know if that...
But here's the question. Do you see it being Reigns versus Triple H for the title?
Probably. I mean, there's no reason to even have the match if you're not going to put the title on the line to bring it back to the Authority, which is, why would Triple H even bother wrestling Reigns? He wants that title back in the Authority.
Here's a question then. Does Triple H win the Rumble, or do you have somebody else win the Rumble who's associated with the Authority and make it a triple threat, but in a sense a 2-on-1?
I have a funny feeling this is my play on it. I think that Triple H is... Music's gonna hit for the 30th guy. They're not gonna come out of the curtain.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna go back to the curtain with the camera and say, like, Heath Slater or somebody's gonna be laid out on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And Triple H is gonna be like, we need somebody to take 30. And then boom, he comes walking out full wrestling gear, runs to the ring as number 30, and he wins the Royal Rumble.
Okay. All right.
Want to hear my take on this one?
Yeah, please.
Alrighty. Okay.
It better not involve Stone Cold.
It does not involve Stone Cold, sadly. Wish it could, but it doesn't. Alright, well, okay, as we see advertised on December 28th, we have John Cena and Roman Reigns in a main event versus Sheamus and somebody. Okay? Whatever. What I'm getting at is I see John Cena making a heel turn, finally setting up a championship match at the Royal Rumble between John Cena and Roman Reigns, where Triple H cost Roman Reigns the championship, setting up a match between Triple H and Roman Reigns, kind of like you said with Triple H and Daniel Bryan, where Reigns has to go through Triple H.
So you're going to put the belt on Cena for the 16th time?
Who else are they going to put it on?
You got to leave it on Reigns. If Triple H is not going to win the title, it's got to work either two ways. Triple H fights Reigns for the title. Reigns wins. Rollins comes back, beats Reigns. That's one. The other one is Triple H beats Reigns for the title. Rollins comes back, beats Triple H.
I got Rollins beating Cena for the title.
I don't think Cena's going to be involved in the picture. Cena, a lot of news from the Cena camp is that he's got 2 more years left in him. He's looking to